Long before the concrete rose and the roads of Uyo burned with car horns and shouting hawkers, there was Eshon Udim, a place untouched by time, veiled in fog, heavy with memory. It was said that the trees in Eshon Udim whispered. That the wind carried names that hadn't been spoken in centuries. That the soil still tasted blood from wars no one remembered. Deep within that forest lived an old woman named Imabong. She sat in a crooked hut made of mud, bones, and palm leaves, far from the nearest path, surrounded by charms made from feathers, teeth, and carved wood. Some called her mad. Others called her Ekpri Iban, the spirit mother. Few dared to speak her name aloud. Her eyes were pale and blind, yet she saw farther than any living soul. And on that day, she saw fire. She tossed a handful of cowries onto a red cloth. The pieces clattered, but they didn't fall like they should. They spun, and began to tremble. Imebong's wrinkled lips parted slightly. Mfinku Idok, fire walks among the leaves, she murmured. The girl is lost, but the wind has seen her. She raised her head slowly, though there was nothing before her but dancing flames. She must come before the moon bleeds. For centuries, the ember of Nkot had been passed down through the bloodline of the Ibabio flame keepers. It was not a power that could be stolen, bought, or taught. It was inherited, sacred, ancestral, sealed by spirit and womb. But the line had broken. The fire had gone silent. And the icon Udim, the cursed spirit of forgotten gods and betrayed ancestors, had begun to wake from their burial grounds. They came wearing human skin, smiling with empty eyes, feeding off fear. They had returned. And Imebong was dying. Her bones ached, her heartbeat slowed each dawn, and the spirits around her hut grew restless. If she didn't pass on the ember soon, it would fade, and with it, the last hope of defending the land from what was coming. There was only one left. A girl the ancestors whispered about through the leaves. A girl born in a place where tradition had turned to concrete. Her name was Yukim. Far away in the rumbling belly of Uyo, Yukim wiped sweat from her brow as she pushed through a market crowd, balancing a food tray with trembling hands. She was 22, alone in the world, and tired of running, from rent, from work, from the strange dreams that had haunted her since childhood. Dreams of fire. Of women with painted faces chanting her name. Of trees burning in moonlight. But that day, something changed. She caught a glimpse of herself in a dusty shop window and froze. A symbol pulsed faintly on her chest beneath her shirt, a tree wrapped in fire, circled by a serpent. She blinked. It faded. Later that night, as she walked home, the city grew too quiet. Footsteps echoed behind her, but when she turned, no one was there. Streetlights flickered, casting long, reaching shadows. A man in a dark coat stood across the road, eyes pitch black, unblinking. She ran. By morning, she was on a bus heading out of the city, destination unknown. The driver didn't ask questions. No one did. That night, she dreamed of fireflies and drums. Of an old woman sitting before a shrine. Yukim, a voice whispered in Ebabio, Idiak Anam Ku Izio, come to the roots. She awoke near a dirt road at the edge of Eshon Udim, fog curling between the trees. The air felt thick, ancient, like the forest had been holding its breath. Yukim stepped into the green. She walked for what felt like hours, guided by something older than memory, until she came upon a small clearing. There, surrounded by floating fireflies and carved stones, sat a woman she'd never met but somehow recognized. Imabong. She didn't turn to face Yukim, but her voice came clear. You've come late, but not too late. Yukim stared. Who are you? I've known your name since before you were born, Imabong said. You carry the blood of Akpankot, the flame priest. You are the last ember. Yukim's voice trembled. I don't understand. My parents are dead. I'm just a girl. No, Imabon cut in. Your blood is not. And it carries more than sorrow. From somewhere deep in the forest, a low growl echoed, neither human nor animal. The wind stirred. The trees whispered. And Yukim realized something had followed her. The past had found her. And the fire was already awake. To be continued, please like, share, comment and follow for next episode.